Hello, candidates. My name is Sanjada Sekou. Most of the time when you hear residents talk about the school, they talk about the school budget. Now, most of the property taxes that is paid for goes to the school budget. So, I would like to know overall, what do you think about the school budget? Do you think it's too much money going towards the school and too much property taxes going towards that? And if you think it is too much and you will cut, what would you cut if you were put in that position?
Thank you. I'm going to start right here.
Thank you, Sanjada. And it's a very good question. In my opinion, I think that we're paying a great percentage of taxes towards our education this year, and it has been higher in the past. But our job is to mitigate, control, regulate, or basically try not to overspend or spend more than we need to and still maintain the quality of education that our children deserve and have been getting. We don't want to take that experience away from them, because we will get a better educated child, like someone else mentioned earlier, into perhaps a better quality college and a better future and career for that individual who graduates from our system. So tax cuts must be carefully considered where and what, how it affects the child down the road.
Sorry, Don.
Testing, yep. Yeah, now it's working. Testing, hello? Hello? It's a very good question, and this one affects every citizen of Roselle Park. I believe it's about 55% of our income, of our property taxes that go towards the education, and the budget has been increasing, I believe, year after year. It's not so much about what would you leave out, what would you cut. I believe that we have to find new ways of sponsoring small and large projects that otherwise we would have to budget it in and spend or taxpayers' money. For example, for small projects, I would probably do some volunteer work. I want to mention this year with the president of the Board of Education, Chris Miller, and a few other coaches that offered to volunteer. We did some improvement to the fields voluntarily. For large projects, I would seek new ways of engaging maybe local businesses to the extent allowed by law, and not having any conflict of interest, maybe having them sponsor us for improvements to our infrastructure, not so much as cutting specific projects.
So is this working now?
Yeah.
Right. Nobody likes taxes. Nobody likes the fact that taxes go up. And I'm definitely in that group. But investment in our school system does pay off. It produces more educated children who are able to advance and get more opportunities. And it also makes the community attractive for people who want to move in. On the flip side of that, if we cut services, then people are going to look for other communities to educate their children. They're going to move out of town. That's going to diminish the tax base, and it's going to increase the burden that those of us who are still here will have to share. So in terms of cutting the budget, we can't be cutting services, because I think that's going to lessen the quality of the education we're delivering. If you look at the budget and you go down top lines, you think none of those items look incredibly wasteful. It's hard to see what you would cut out of it. So I think the right tool to take to the budget is not a cleaver, but a scalpel. You really have to look down at the small items and see where things could be done a little bit more efficiently. I'll give you an example. I know that the buses to UC BCS are overcrowded right now, and what had to happen was that we had to add a third bus. Well, a third bus costs $200 a day, and if you do that for every single school day, it's something like $36,000 for the entire year. What I proposed to the board at the time was a more proactive way of monitoring who needs to take the bus so that we can get a long-term solution in place. If we know when we're going to need more students on the bus, maybe we can contract that busing at a lower price than $200 a day. So carefully going through the budget, doing everything as efficiently as possible, I think that's the way to keep the budget increases down.
It's a very good question. For the past 3 years, I've sat on the budget committee. I have tried to look at many different avenues, remembering that 80% of our school budget is on 3 categories: insurances, salaries, and transportation. Thank you. And transportation. I'm just going over this. And transportation. They're the major aspects of our budget. We cannot cut them. We pay our teachers, I think, fairly. They might not think so, but for what they do, I really think that our teachers are the backbone of our school system. We can't lose them, okay? I'm not willing to pay astronomical monies towards teachers, but I'm willing to keep them because they're doing a great job for our students. We've added very little to it. We added STEM. We've added middle school sports. Our students are looking for something. They're looking for more. We just can't stay status quo. I'm sorry that our taxes go up. I truly am. But we have to. We have to give our students an education. They're looking for things to do. I fought for several years to get the middle school back in. Now everybody said, what's the big thing? Well, one of our candidates mentioned the 3 A's: athletics, academics, and the arts. Well, this is what we have. I'm not going to cut out the choir, the programs, the musicals. I'm not going to cut out little sports. I'm sorry. Our students deserve it, and they need extra. They need this. I'm willing to pay. I know taxes are high, but if you just look at over the past 3 years,
Sorry, Laura. Jay.
Go this way. So I think it's 53% of our pie is towards school taxes. So I could probably, she could read that red flag up a couple of times. I have a lot of things to say about this. But I do believe, we put our kids to school. My parents put me through school. My grandparents put my dad through school district. So we need the school, okay? I'm running for a couple reasons. Is because for the kids, and I will say this, the values of our home are because of our great school district. My house next door to me sold, I believe, in 5 days. They have 2 children. I believe they're coming from New York. So there's the telltale right there why we have a school district. 5 days, I think it's sold. So this is the reason why I'm here. I support it. There could be some fat. Yes, there could be in the budget. But I was in my garage the other day looking at something, and my sign for years I put up, support the school budget. I've always supported. So it's a 99.9% for our kids, but let's think about our values of our homes are, I believe the school, and we have a good training system, so we need to support the budget. And we have to work with the mayor and council to get businesses to support the school budget at 53%, to maybe keep it stable.